Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about something old school that I found recently, something I'm really excited to try out. Because most of the time everything I'm talking about is the latest and greatest. We're talking JDM imports, the new releases from iCast, new tricks, electronics, all these things that I'm learning. But sometimes it's fun to go back in time. That's what we're going to do right now is going to look at a Corrado from 1991. So thanks for checking out the channel. I appreciate all the new subscribers. I see that. I love the comments. So if you haven't subscribed, please do. And if you like this comment, let me know. I have a lot more ideas. I'm going to keep doing it. So let's jump into what I just found recently at a flea market. And that is a Shimano Corrado from 1991. So this is it right here. It is the original Corrado. And it's pretty cool. I was researching this, and on the Shimano website, they have the whole history of the Corrado. They have the year they came out, and it's really cool because now that I've had this one, I have had every generation of Corrados at some time. I still own a lot of them, still use a lot of them, but it's pretty cool that the Corrado name is something that has been around since 91, and I happen to have had all of them. I just recently got a 300 Corrado, which is in the K series. That's my newest reel, actually, I guess, besides this newest old reel. And that's a great reel for Alabama rigs, deep crankbaits, the bigger 300 size. But I've used all the Corrados, like I said, but it's cool to see the progression of it, because you look at this reel, it looks a lot like the old school green Corrados that everyone loves. If you've ever fished it, they came out in 94. I learned that from that website, but I remember fishing them when I started tournament fishing in 1998, and I still have some of those reels. They were tanks. They are solid. You didn't have to do a lot of maintenance. They cast great. I'd probably still be fishing a lot of them, but they are heavy. They just don't fit as well on the newer style of rods, in my opinion, but they're great reels. After that, they had the Corrado D. It was kind of a metallic green, I guess you could say. There was also the Corrado E, which is really sought after. That was a really popular one. The Corrado I, which I liked as well. So there's a lot of generations of Corrados, including the K. So now that I have this one from 91, it's pretty cool to have to see the progression of it. It's also pretty cool to look at the rod that it came with. This is a pistol grip. You may have heard of these, and if you're younger, you may think, what in the heck is this? But it's really, there's just nothing to hold on to. We're used to the two-handed cast, the split grips, just way more technical rods. The other thing that's changed that is really funny is the length. I'm 5'11", and look at this thing. This is a 5'6" rod. It'd be very hard to find a current rod that's this short. Most of the manufacturers start at maybe 6'10", for a jerkbait rod. It's really interesting to see how much the lengths of the rods have gotten bigger just since 91. It's night and day. I mean, 7 foot's kind of like a short rod now, where back then it was a 5'6". So I am gonna fish this spring. I'm gonna find a situation where I think I can catch something on this. Maybe I'll go old school and chuck a spinnerbait around on some mono, some old mono. I mean, try to get some newer line, but maybe throw a spinnerbait and see if I can catch something on this old school Shimano Corrado. So that'll be a project for the future, but I just wanted to show that off. I mean, I was really pleased with this for 20 bucks. I can't beat it. I mean, just for the nostalgia factor and the cool factor, I think it was a pretty sweet deal. And that's something I'm always doing. Like I said, I'm always checking out the latest tackle and buying way overpriced stuff from, Japan or from Tackle Warehouse or anything like that. But I also am really into hunting these treasures. I scour estate sales. I guess it was 2 years ago, I found some awesome hard baits, from an estate sale. Tons of stuff. I found an old tackle shop earlier this year and got really cool 90s baits. So I'm always on the hunt for that. I think it's kind of a cool part of our sport to look at that old school stuff and then now. And a lot of times it's completely different. It looks foreign, but a lot of times you realize hasn't really changed that much. So it's cool to look at the future and what's coming out and think about all the new trends that are happening at this current day, but it's also great to look at the past. And that's what this is going to be doing, especially when I fish it. I'm going to have to keep you updated on how it works. You know, this is a medium heavy action rod, this little guy, but it says it can handle 1.25 ounce bait, which is kind of crazy, but I guess it could, technically. So this is a Magnum Light TX Graphite from Shimano as well.